My name is Silvio. The discussion is the journey to self-discovery. Ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome. There comes a moment in every life when the noise of the world grows louder than the voice within. We chase expectations. We pursue approval. We follow paths laid out by family, society, culture, and sometimes fear. Yet, deep inside, there's a quiet question that refuses to disappear. Who am I truly? The journey to self-discovery is not a luxury. It is not reserved for monks in monasteries, philosophers on mountaintops, or heroes in history books. It is a deeply human journey, one that each of us must take if we are to live with meaning, courage, and authenticity. And here is the first reality we must face. You cannot live a fulfilled life, trying to be a watered-down version of someone else. Self-discovery is not about reinventing yourself into someone impressive. It is about uncovering who you already are beneath the layers of fear, conditioning, doubt, and expectation. The illusion of having it all figured out. We live in an age of comparison. Social media shows us curated lives, filtered happiness, and edited success. We scroll through images of people who seem confident, wealthy, fit, accomplished, and we begin to believe that everyone else has clarity while we alone are confused. But here's the truth. Everyone you admire once stood in uncertainty, questioning their path. Think about great leaders and thinkers. Nelson Mandela did not discover his strength in comfort. It was forged in decades of imprisonment. Malala Yousafzai did not wake up one day fearless. Her courage was born in the face of danger. Oprah Winfrey did not start life powerful. She uncovered her voice through hardship and resilience. The reality concept here is simple. Clarity is earned, not given. And clarity rarely comes in moments of ease. It emerges from confusion, failure, and reflection. Confusion is not a sign you are lost. It is a sign you are thinking. Understanding the layers of identity. From childhood, we are given labels: smart, shy, athletic, troublemaker, responsible, average. Over time, these labels become identities. We start living according to stories told about us, sometimes without questioning whether they are true. But self-discovery begins when you ask, is this who I truly am, or is this who I learned to be? Psychology teaches us that much of our behavior is shaped by environment and experience. Trauma, praise, criticism, culture, they all carve impressions into our sense of self. But here's the empowering reality. Your past influences you, but it does not define you. Self-discovery requires courage because it means peeling back layers. It means confronting fears. It means admitting that some of what you believed about yourself may not be true. And that can feel terrifying. But remember, growth feels like breaking because you're outgrowing old versions of yourself. The role of failure in self-discovery. Failure is one of the most powerful teachers on this journey, yet it is the one we avoid most. We fear embarrassment. We fear judgment. We fear disappointment. But consider this reality. Failure strips away illusion. When you fail, you discover what truly matters to you, how resilient you are, whether your goals were authentic or borrowed. Failure does not tell you that you are incapable. It tells you that you are experimenting. Every meaningful life contains chapters of failure. The difference between those who remain stuck and those who evolve is not talent. It is interpretation. Some see failure as identity. Others see it as instruction. You are not your mistakes. You are the lesson you choose to learn from them. Silence, the forgotten tool. In a world that celebrates constant noise, busyness, and productivity, silence feels uncomfortable. Yet silence is where self-discovery lies. When you sit quietly without distraction, uncomfortable truths arise. Am I happy in this career? Do these relationships energize or drain me? Am I living according to my values? The reason many avoid silence is because it demands honesty. But understand this. You cannot hear your inner voice while drowning in external noise. Take time alone. Reflect. Journal. Walk without headphones. Sit with your thoughts. Self-discovery is not found in constant stimulation. It is found in intentional stillness. The reality of fear. Fear is not the enemy. Fear is information. Fear tells you where growth is possible. Fear tells you what matters. Fear tells you where you are attached. But fear becomes destructive when it becomes your decision maker. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision that something else matters more. Every step toward your authentic self will trigger fear. Changing careers, ending toxic relationships, expressing your true opinions, setting boundaries. But here's the empowering truth. On the other side of fear is expansion. You do not eliminate fear before acting. You act, and fear shrinks as your confidence grows. Comparison is one of the greatest obstacles to self-discovery. When you compare constantly, you stop listening to yourself and start measuring against others. But self-discovery is deeply personal. Your timeline is unique. The oak tree and the bamboo do not compete. They grow at their own pace. Some people achieve financial success early. Some find love later. Some switch careers at 40. Some discover passion at 60. There is no universal clock governing fulfillment. The only dangerous delay is postponing your own authenticity. It is better to arrive late as yourself than early as someone you are not. Values, the compass of identity. At the heart of self-discovery lies a crucial question. What do I truly value? Not what impresses others. Not what brings quick applause. But what aligns with your core. Is it freedom? Family? Creativity? Integrity? Impact? Growth? When your life aligns with your values, you feel congruence. When it doesn't, you feel tension, even if everything looks good externally. Success without alignment feels like emptiness. Many people climb ladders only to discover they were leaning against the wrong wall. Self-discovery requires defining your own wall. The discipline of self-awareness. Self-awareness is not a one-time realization. It is a lifelong practice. Ask yourself regularly, why did I react that way? What triggered that emotion? What am I avoiding? What am I pretending not to know? This level of honesty demands maturity. But remember, self-awareness is not self-criticism. It is self-understanding. You're not meant to judge yourself harshly. You are meant to observe, adjust, and grow. The reality of change. You will change. Your dreams will evolve. Your friendships will shift. Your beliefs will refine. Your priorities will transform. And that is not instability, it is growth. The person you were 5 years ago was necessary for you to become who you are today. Self-discovery is not about finding one fixed identity and clinging to it forever. It is about continuously rediscovering yourself as you evolve. Life will challenge you, break you, shape you, refine you, and through it all, you are becoming. The responsibility of choice. One of the most powerful realizations in self-discovery is this. You have more control than you think. You cannot control your past. You cannot control other people. You cannot control every outcome. But you can control your response, your effort, your attitude, your standards. Freedom begins the moment you take responsibility. Blame keeps you stuck. Responsibility moves you forward. This is not about self-blame. It is about empowerment. Building inner confidence. Confidence is often misunderstood. It is not loudness. It is not arrogance. It is not perfection. Confidence is trust in yourself. Trust that you can handle discomfort. Trust that you can learn. Trust that you can recover. Trust that you can adapt. Confidence grows every time you keep a promise to yourself. Small actions matter. Waking up when you said you would. Exercising. Studying. Speaking up. Saying no. Self-discovery is not just philosophical reflection. It is disciplined action aligned with who you want to become. The power of authentic living. Living authentically does not mean being liked by everyone. In fact, the more authentic you become, the fewer masks you wear, and the fewer people you will need to impress. Some people will misunderstand you. Some will disagree. Some may leave. But those who remain will connect with the real you, not a performance. And the peace that comes from authenticity is unmatched. The journey never ends. Self-discovery is not a destination you arrive at once and for all. It is a lifelong unfolding. There will be seasons of clarity. There will be seasons of confusion. There will be reinvention. There will be rediscovery. And through every phase, you are allowed to evolve. The person you are today is not your final form. Closing reflection. As you leave here today, I want you to remember something powerful. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not unfinished in a negative sense. You're in progress. Your journey is not about becoming someone else. It is about returning to yourself. The world does not need another imitation. It needs your perspective, your voice, your story, your courage. So take the step. Ask the hard questions. Sit in silence. Face the fear. Learn from failure. Align with your values. Choose responsibility. Practice self-awareness. Embrace change. And most importantly, believe that discovering yourself is the most important project you will ever undertake. Because when you know who you are, you move differently. You decide differently. You love differently. You lead differently. And when you live aligned with your true self, you don't just exist. You live.